to the vlog. I am Gabby from Gabberdashery, even though you may not recognise me. So yeah, I've been through the change of my hair and it is now brown. And you have seen me, if you've been watching this vlog for a while, you've seen me through so many different hair colours and stages and cuts and lengths and all that stuff. So yeah, this is where we're at right now. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen that I'm not hugely happy with it, but I'm letting it settle in, and everyone just keeps going, Gabby, give it time. It hasn't even been a week, and I'm very impatient. I'm such an impatient person. It's like my biggest flaw. I am just crazy impatient. So I kind of just want things now. And I want my hair to look good now. I don't want to wait. But anyway, it's feeling a lot healthier. Actually watching back the last video made me realise just how it looked like straw, and my roots were really bad anyway. But yeah, it didn't look good at all. It looked very unhealthy. So at least it's hopefully looking a little better than that. But yeah, I will stop rabbiting on about that because it's getting a bit dull, me talking about my hair so much, and tell you about what I'm doing today. So it is the most beautiful day. The sun is still streaming free even though it's nearly 7 o'clock at night, and it's just been gorgeous all day, and yesterday was lovely, and then tomorrow's getting really, really hot. I think it's going to get to about 29 degrees in London or something crazy like that. So yeah, we're very excited about that. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing the summer house. So I've been kind of clearing it out. I started doing it yesterday, but it was one of those things where I took everything out of the summer house and then I painted the ceiling, and I filmed all of this along the way, by the way, so you'll get to see it later. But by the time it was kind of evening and the weather wasn't looking, it looked like it was about to start raining, I had to put it all back in there again, and I haven't sorted any of it out. So tomorrow the whole day is devoted to the summer house, and I am going to sort it out. So I can't wait to be back in there because it means that all my sewing will be out in the summer house soon, and yeah, I love it out there. Anyway, off on a tangent again. So in the meantime, let me tell you what I'm doing today. So it's time for the next make of the Tilly and the Buttons stretch book. This is the one that I have been the most excited about. I really cannot wait to start making this, and it is dun dun dun, the Freya. So there is so many different options for this. It's the Freya sweater and dress. This is the sweater version that lovely Emily from Self Assembly Required is wearing. Then we've got the dress version with the ruffles that the lovely Zena is wearing, and you can probably guess which one I'm gonna make. I mean, this is just my dream dress. And there's a cowl neck version there, and there's also the version without the ruffle that's just a lovely kind of high neck dress, and I really like that as well. But when I first saw this almost a year ago, when Tilly put it up on her Instagram and showed this dress, I was like, that is exactly what I want. So I want it in the mustard, and I want it to look like that. So I know you've already seen this before, but here is the fabric. Lovely, lovely Girl Charlee mustard French terry. I'm so excited. I bought this from them at the Knitting and Stitching show, and I've been itching to make it ever since. Oh, it's gonna be so lovely. So I think I have a bit of I'm going to challenge myself today to do this one entirely on the sewing machine, because I've got the overlocker and I've got the cover stitch, and that's awesome, and I've talked a lot about that for the other vlogs. But a lot of people are saying, well, I only have a sewing machine. Do you think I need to get an overlocker or a serger? And I really don't think you need to. And actually, Tilly, the whole way through the book, keeps saying, you don't need to. You can do this all on the sewing machine. So today I'm going to challenge myself to do it all on the sewing machine. So yeah, I've got the Quilt Ambition 2, which is amazing, and it's got the IDT foot in it, which means that it's like a walking foot, but it's integrated into the sewing machine. So sewing knits on this thing is unbelievably easy, and it should be a really quick make. I think the ruffle's going to be the hardest bit, so I'm going to lead you through the ruffle as well, and myself at the same time, but I'm going to film me making the ruffle. So let me get to that bit and then I'll catch up with you in a bit. Okay, confession, I've moved straight over to the overlocker, and it's not anything to do with the machines, it's just so much quicker because once you have an overlocker, you will understand that you don't need to finish off the seams because it's all done in one. You're sewing and finishing the seams in one. So when you're doing it on the sewing machine, it totally works great, and it did work great, and I'll show you the seams that it did do and how beautiful they are, and they're really, you can't see them, they're invisible. Wait, I'll show you what I mean. See what I mean? Invisible. But then I overlocked that seam to finish it off. So then I realised, well, that is part of the thing about having an overlocker, is you kind of have the luxury of doing it 2 in 1. And when you have very little time to sew, i.e. me, because I'm meant to be cooking supper for me and my husband, it's got to be the overlocker. It's just got to be. So this way I'm just going to be doing such a kind of quick make. I do apologise that this challenge has already kind of failed then, so I'm not doing it on the sewing machine. I am going to do it on the overlocker. But I will say that if you do just have a sewing machine, it is totally doable. Yeah, I have the luxury of choice, and I'm choosing the easy way. Okay, I'm doing the ruffle bit. Oh, sorry, I knocked the camera there with my foot. Someone said that they did it in front of the mirror. How did they do that? I don't know, it's really quite hard. I'm trying to like make a nice curve, but my ribbon doesn't really want to curve, so I'm gonna take this off and do it flat and hopefully be able to do it better that way. But basically the general idea is that you get a bit of ribbon, longer than what the ruffle would be, and you kind of trace out the kind of shape you want. So you can have more of a V, or this is meant to be more circular, so it's meant to be like that. But yeah, I've got work to do. Yeah, so you kind of work out the shape that you want like that, and then you measure the amount that it goes around, and you double that, and that's the size of fabric you cut. So I'm just looking at my fabric and just double checking that I'm gonna have enough. I think it should be fine, but yeah, if I don't, I might just do the front. So I'm gonna catch up with you in a minute when I've kind of done more of a flat lay and got this shape a bit better, because that's just boring video. And yeah, I'm loving the neck already, and the shoulders are looking like a good fit, so that's really good. I hope that this is going on my hair. Mustard, do you go with my hair? I don't know, when you change your hair you think nothing goes with it, but hopefully I'm wrong and that it goes. So yeah, I can't wait to get this on my body. Right, okay, I'm gonna trace out the line. Oh yeah, this way is immediately more successful. So I'm kind of sorting out the curve like that. I need to make sure that it's really symmetrical, which I don't think it is yet. But that's the kind of curve I'm going for when it's symmetrical. Oh yeah, that needs to be further along that way. That's what's going on. So it's more like that. And then yeah, I'll do the back. I think I do have enough fabric actually. I kind of was missing a bit that I didn't realise I had. So I'm going to do the whole way round. Yay! Okay, so I'm now trying to do this on the mannequin. This is definitely harder than I thought it would be actually, because I'm trying to get the spacing exactly right in between each one, and I've got I've been kind of testing it with a ruler and stuff, and yeah, it's just really hard to get it symmetrical, and trying to do the same on the other side is even harder. Oh, I haven't started doing it properly yet, don't worry. That's not the shape I'm going for. I kind of wanted it to be more of a like a higher scooped neck on the back. But yeah, I'm going to carry on. Sorry, I've got a real frog in my throat today. I'm going to carry on working on that, and then I will do the ruffle. Okay, so it's a few days later. Oh sorry, I'm like kicking noisy things in my sewing room. I have yeah, just been so busy with the podcast. So it's now Monday, and I've had quite a few people over as guests that have made the Freya and made the ruffle Freya. So I've been asking all of them, should I do pleats or gathers, because I couldn't decide, and I actually like the soft look of the gathers, so I was kind of going more that way. And Emily from Self Assembly Required yesterday said definitely do gathers, so that made my mind up. So that means that if you're watching this for help with the pleats, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to do that. But Harriet from Hobbling Handmaids has done a real like sew along video, so she will help you with that bit. But I'm just going to cut my fabric. Oh! I measured the length of the ribbon was 97 all the way across, so I'm basically going to cut 200 centimeters of fabric strips, so that I will probably have to sew them together. I'll definitely have to sew them together, so that there's loads to gather basically. So yeah, I'm going to measure out 200 centimeters, and the actual width, you can do the width as wide as you like. They've done 7 centimeters, and I have to say I love the look of this, so I think I'm going to do 7 centimeters as well. Yeah, I'm going to do it just like that. So I'm going to do 200 centimeters of 7 centimeter wide fabric. And I'm going to use my amazing tool. I don't know if I've told you about this. I'm sure I have in a vlog, but this is the Fiskars ruler fabric cutter. And basically I will measure out 7 centimeters because this is in inches, and then have the edge of the fabric that you want to cut there, and it's like a rotary cutter on a ruler. It's amazing. I'll show you it in action because this might be a bit weird to see it like this. It's kind of like a guillotine for fabric. What could be better? All right, I'm getting on with that now. So line it up. So it's just before 3, it's the line just before 3, that's the technical term. And then just go over it a few times because it's quite a heavyweight fabric, this. If it was just a cotton, one time we'll do it, but just really press down. And then there's a strip. So I'm going to do 4 of those and then sew them together because I've left loads of seam allowance, because I've basically gone up 4 centimeters from where I should be. But if you're pleating them, be a lot more mathematical about this because ruffling them and gathering them, you can just kind of do, you can be a bit more rough, but pleating them you want to make sure you stick to the guidelines. Okay, so I have sewn the gathering stitches along the long strips, so I've done 2. I've done them quite far apart because I'm not so used to gathering on jersey, and I didn't want to have them too close because if they cross over then we've got serious problems. So those are my gathering stitches. I've done them in pink so you can really see them, and actually it gathers really nicely. And what I've done is the bits that I'd sewn together, so I'd sewn those 2 together on the overlocker, I basically just kind of jumped over, so I stopped just before, pulled out a bit of thread and then carried on sewing after it. So yeah, that was a little trick that someone told me, that instead of where the seams join, instead of kind of pulling it out, if you just pull quite a nice tail and then carry on sewing without cutting it off, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and I'm already seeing that it gathers quite easily, which is great because I need to gather it to half the size basically. I am going to go out to the summer house and see if I've got any mustard coloured thread, because this is now a top stitching bit that I'm going to have to do, and I've been using yellow thread up to now, but I think I've got some mustard somewhere, so I'm going to go and find that. Oh, it gathers really nicely. I like that. You see how it gathers? Yeah, I'm gonna go get some mustard thread and I'll be back in a bit. So the best way I think to do the gathered way, I'm kind of making this up as I go along because there isn't any instructions on the gathering, is that I know that I've got 200 centimeters here and I want to gather it to 100 centimeters or just under. So I'm going to gather it all and then keep measuring it, and then when I'm at 100 centimeters then I'll start connecting it to the bodice. Okay, so I have made 100 centimeters worth of ruffles by gathering it all. It actually is not as tight a gather as I thought it would be, so I've actually loosened loads of it and had to keep bringing it through. And now I'm going to start pinning it. This is looking really cool, I love it. If you have gathered stitches that are going too close to the edge, just unpick them because you want to fold it over by 1 centimeter and then attach to the bodice where the ribbon is. So I'm going to literally take out the pin, like grip it to where the shoulder, because you want it to match the shoulder seam, and I've taken out the pin from the ribbon and I'm instead putting it either side, so the ribbon I should be able to whip out. I hope this will work. I don't know if this is me being clever or really stupid. And I'm going to put a few more in as well, but make sure that I don't catch the ribbon. Okay, I'm going to skip to the end this bit because I think this is going to take quite a while. Right, I've gone back to the mannequin again because it is really tricky. I think I'm just not very good at like seeing things by eye. I find that actually really quite hard, so I've got the measuring tape out and I'm really trying to make sure each bit is symmetrical, and then also on the back as well, but I need to pull this round because it's all ruched, so it's quite tricky because I was doing it like flat on my table, and then when I put it on this I realised that quite a few bits were not right. So I fully recommend, if you can do it on a mannequin, or even get someone to help you and do it on yourself. It might be easier that way. I don't know if I'm just finding this really hard and everyone else is actually finding it really easy. But yes, this is where I'm up to at the moment. I can already see that that is definitely smaller than that. So I now need to work out which bit I want to move. But I'm going to carry on working on this and report back when I'm doing the actual sewing. Finally at the sewing stage. Okay, that took a really long time. It's not a quick, easy make this, but I kind of like that. I'm learning new things, I'm challenging myself, I'm taking time, I'm not rushing it, and that's a good thing for me. That's a very good thing for me, so I'm very thankful to that. So, top stitching. I've changed the thread. I couldn't find any mustard. While I was out in the summer house I thought this was mustard, but it's really green. I don't know what was wrong with me. So I only have yellow thread to use, but I think that's fine. I hope it will look alright. If it really doesn't, I'm going to have to stop and go to the shops. So, okay, you start at the shoulder seam that you started the ruffle at. You use a zigzag stitch 2 by 2, so it's a really small zigzag stitch, and just top stitch it down and hope for the best. I think I might take the arm off because it's going to go round. I'm going to pull the collar over it. Yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it. Okay, and get all these threads out the way. The thing about gathering is there's always threads like everywhere. Okay, let's begin. Really close to the edge as well, so I take this bit really slow because you've got to really make sure that the edge is matching the place that you want it to. This is one occasion that I don't remove the pins as I sew. I know that that's a controversial thing. I always seem to have controversial things to say in these videos because I seem to sew a bit differently to a lot of people. But when it comes to gathers, I can't remove the pins as I go because then all my hard work of pinning just completely unravels. And when you remove a pin in a gather, the whole gather just moves basically. So yeah, you have to really like hold them in place. And the pins are very useful for that. But that's, I guess, another reason to take it slow, is if you're sewing over pins, then just, I don't know, be careful. Okay, I'm not gonna record all of this because there's a lot of sewing on this bit. Alrighty! I'm really happy. I'm really pleased that I spent the time going for it and really working out methodically, because that is a lovely curve. I'm sure that it's not perfect, so please don't start looking at it really closely, but I'm really happy with that, and the back looks really cool. I kind of wanted to have that higher. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm gonna sew up the rest of the dress and then show you what it all looks like together. Yay! Ta-da! I'm finished! I love it! I really, really love this. Yes, I think this is my favourite in the book so far. It's so, so cute. I just love the ruffle, and I'm really pleased that I took my time and did it properly, because I'm really happy. And I'm really happy I chose gather because I love that. I think it's really cute. I'm also extremely happy that I suit mustard, because I wasn't 100% sure whether it was going to go with my hair, but I really love this combo and it's making me like my hair finally. So yeah, I just put up a thing on Instagram saying "be still my beating heart," and that's all I can really say. This French terry from Girl Charlee is the softest, loveliest fabric I think I've used as a stretch fabric anyway. It is the nicest stretch fabric I've ever used. I'll just step up here so you can see the length of the skirt. It's perfect on me. It's like a really nice length. I'm wearing it with navy tights. I finished all of the hems on the cover stitch, and this is just top stitched on. Yeah, I just don't have anything to say apart from how much I love it. I really am so, so happy. I'm gonna wear this dress to death. Yay! Okay, so that is enough from me for this week. I will be back very soon with the Stella jogging bottoms and hoodie. So that's going to be a longer video because it's 2 makes, but I'm really looking forward to making them because I keep coming home and kind of wanting to put on something that isn't my pyjamas, and tracksuit bottoms would be perfect for that, and I just go straight to pyjamas no matter what time it is. So yes, I'm looking forward to having some jogging bottoms. But apart from that, I hope you are all incredibly well, whatever you're up to. Happy sewing, happy making, lots of love. Bye!